So I did a video that I was going to upload last week concerning news that LeBron James and JJ Redick is going to form like Voltron to have their own podcast. And I believe the podcast was called Mind Your Game, something like that. And I was going to give you guys my review. I watched a couple of episodes as well as some snippets about the podcast. I even listened to the whole entire podcast. And I was going to give you guys my review. And I said to myself, I wasn't feeling that video because at the end of the day, you know, it was really not a lot to talk about Mind Your Game podcast. Okay, other than the announcement, other than LeBron James's having his own podcast, other than Draymond Green on the Draymond Green show talked about and alluded to his efforts of trying to get LeBron James to come to the Draymond Green podcast, and he figured since he's a clutch client, he would get those privileges. And something similar to like a lot of people think, just because a lot of music artists think just because they're signed to Rock Nation, that means automatically they're going to get a feature from Jay-Z. But that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about this briefly. But before we talk about it, I first like to say this: there's an oversaturation of podcasts. I think there are way too many podcast shows out there. And I also think that there are way too many basketball podcasts. And there's a lot of people out there who were ex-NBA athletes or players. All of a sudden, they either host their own podcast or they're featured on a podcast episode. And it just seems like, to me, in my humble opinion, there are way too many people out there that got way too much time on their hand. Like, take for an example, Michael Beasley. I don't know why. This is an old topic. Well, who's better, Michael Jordan or LeBron James? And I've heard this so many different types of ways. You have a lot of people that are for Michael Jordan, like myself. You have others that are for LeBron James. But Michael Beasley took it to another level of why he feels like LeBron James is the GOAT, the greatest of all time, and he's better than Michael Jordan. And when I listened to his reasoning, it was just pure nonsense. You know, just because you played against LeBron James or played for LeBron James doesn't mean that you're an expert in the history of basketball. You may be an expert at that certain period of time of, you know, playing against or for LeBron James, but that's as far as it go. And there's so many people out there that can give you that same, if you want that type of flavor, that you're interested in something like that, there are so many others on the horizon that, you know, to me, I enjoy listening to. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get into today's topic. So, on a recent episode of Mind Your Game, LeBron James, JJ Redick, which, by the way, JJ Redick is like the moderator. He's sort of like the host. They're both hosts, but JJ Redick is the one that's throwing the softball questions, and LeBron James just critique whatever JJ Redick. You know this is scripted. LeBron James know exactly what JJ Redick is going to say. JJ Redick is not going to step on LeBron James' toes. He's not going to throw a bunch of softballs. He's not going to ask questions that we, the audience, want to know. So, you know this is scripted. JJ Redick's good friends with LeBron James. LeBron James good friends with JJ Redick. They both trust each other. They both have some type of chemistry away from the court. But anyway, they have their own podcast. And the question, which has already been scripted, LeBron James already knows this is coming. He's already been prepared for weeks, months, and even years. I've even heard LeBron James say this. And JJ Redick went into what's harder, the championships that you won with Miami or the championships that you have won on your own. And everyone knows. No one should be surprised with the answer LeBron James is going to give you. I think this is a PR, PR, not question, answer. I think this is a PR answer. This is to build the credibility of LeBron James and to build the credibility of why LeBron James is the best basketball player of all time, even better than Michael Jeffrey Jordan. He's not even accomplished more than what Michael Jordan has done on a team level, on a player level, as far as taking the NBA to the next episode, to the next level, Now, player entitlement, if y'all want to give that to LeBron James, fine and dandy. But player entitlement has been in the NBA for quite some time now. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. And I do respect LeBron James, what he contributes off the court, okay, as well as on the court, okay. Well, the question comes, and of course, LeBron's going to say, well, the last two titles, he went back to Cleveland. He won a title with Cleveland. Then he took his talents to Los Angeles, won a title there. And of course, he's going to pick those two titles than Miami. Now, for those out there who don't understand the message, who don't understand the strategy, allow your boy to explain. He's never going to admit that the first two titles he had with Miami was more challenging because he had people that said no to him. LeBron James wanted to be LeBron James. He wanted to get the accomplishments. He wanted to get the credit. He wanted to get the kudos. He wanted to do it his way. And he was doing that in Cleveland. And, Dan Gilbert is a pushover, particularly when you're talking about the aura of LeBron James. He's going to commit to whatever LeBron James says. But when LeBron James went to Miami, it was night and day. Pat Riley was not going to allow LeBron James to just come in and just do whatever he wanted to do. The ownership, who is great friends with Pat Riley, trust Pat Riley, was not going to allow LeBron James to circumvent his will and his control. If he was going to win a title with the Miami Heat, he was going to do it the Heat way. He was not going to do it LeBron's way or Dwayne Wade way or Chris Bosh Wade County. He's going to do it the way the Miami Heat blueprint, okay? So, of course, he's going to pick those. He's going to pick those two latter ones, the later ones. Two, LeBron James had to give up, at that, a lot of people don't realize what LeBron James, he had a lot of growing up to do, and he had a lot of, as far as basketball, learning the game of basketball. I feel like LeBron James learned a lot more how to become a better leader. His IQ has risen. Pat Riley in that Miami Heat organization, the coach, Eric, they was going to teach LeBron James, you're going to have to win championships is on another level. You're going to have to bring your A+ game, your A+ game in order to win championships. And dynasties are not built, it's not made overnight. LeBron James he became a better leader by going to Miami. He was a better all-around player when he went to Miami. He had a lot of things he had to figure out. LeBron James didn't like to play in the low post. The Miami Heat and Pat Riley told LeBron he had spend a summer with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the Dream, and he went to Houston, and the Dream showed him how to be very successful with his low post game. Now, he didn't utilize it a lot, but when he did utilize it, it was magic. He was just unstoppable. LeBron James wanted to bring his entourage, in the locker room and play music in the locker room, and everyone have their special handshakes on the court when game starts, and they were not having that. Uh, LeBron James had to deal with a coach who was tough-minded, who was not going to, witter away because, oh, that's LeBron James. I need to commit to LeBron James. I got to make LeBron James happy. No one in Heat organization was not going to take a back seat just to make LeBron James happy. LeBron James had to earn a lot that he gotten with the Miami Heat organization, and he won 2 championships, back-to-back MVPs. LeBron James, I don't care what any basketball experts say, or personality, or Shannon Sharp, or any of you guys in the comment section, LeBron James achieved more in a short period of time with the Miami Heat than what he ever did before he went to the Miami Heat and after he went to the Miami Heat, which we're going to explain when he left the Miami Heat organization. So LeBron James took all that experience, took all what he, as far as being a leader, how to win games. I think mentally he was stronger and sharper when he went to the Miami Heat, because the Miami Heat was not going to just allow him to just sit in the locker room and he just sits there and think about, well, if I could have done this or should have done that, they should have done this. No, LeBron James had to earn a lot of respect with with the Heat culture, and he did. When he went and he took all what he knew from the Miami Heat and he utilized it with the Cleveland Cavaliers. As far as the front office person, how to help on the front office. He knew that he had to have 2 other stars with him. He knew what type of players would benefit with LeBron James the most when he went to Cleveland. He was a better leader. He was mentally more prepared and more sharper. Now, he did try to play, NBA 2K in the GM mode when he brought Dwayne Wade there, and he brought like a handful of people. And, that was the Cleveland Cavaliers trying. That was, Cleveland Cavaliers trying to make LeBron James happy. But LeBron James did win 1 title with Cleveland, possibly 2, until Kyrie Irving found out that LeBron James was secretly having these secret meetings and the possibility of him being traded. And he just did not trust that organization. He did not trust Dan Gilbert. And at that particular time, he didn't trust LeBron James. And he took his talents to the Boston Celtics. And the rest, they say, is history. I'm not going to go into that. But LeBron James won a title with Cleveland without the services of the Miami Heat, because the Miami Heat taught him everything on and off the court, front office moves, how to become a better leader on the court, having players around him that can that will benefit with his talent. He just couldn't just have any average person and expect to do magic with that. The days of him going to the finals with a bunch of nobodies, if everyone want to call them nobodies, and get swept by the San Antonio Spurs, those days are behind. You have to have a certain type of player, that could benefit from LeBron James' talent, and LeBron James can benefit from their talent as well. He won a title with Cleveland. He went to Los Angeles. That first year with Los Angeles was rocky. Magic Johnson was trying to still do it his way. He did want an Anthony Davis, but he thought that was too much to give up for Anthony Davis. And if he would have gave all that, which they ultimately did when they got Magic out the door, but if he would have did that, that's basically saying that all the work and the time he put in to construct this roster was for nothing. Okay? But they did. They paid up and they got Anthony Davis, and they won a title with with Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Anthony Davis, we saw something from Anthony Davis we have never saw from Anthony Davis with the New Orleans Pelicans, and he hasn't even reproduced it. Every once in a while you get to see a glimpse of the Anthony Davis that won that title in that shortened season. By the way, it was COVID. Not a lot of other players wanted to be there. They played the remaining NBA games in one arena. They played the playoffs in one arena. They played the finals in one arena. Not to mention they had almost a 2-month break before they played the remaining regular season games. Plus Anthony Davis. They gave Anthony Davis plenty of time to heal up, because at that particular time, Anthony Davis was injury prone. He could never complete seasons. But if you got almost 2 months in between, in a break, in between your seasons, any type of injuries Anthony Davis would have collected at that time, he would have been all the way healthy or somewhat healthy. And he took that team to the NBA Finals. They played the Miami Heat, which was the same team that had LeBron James. They had Jimmy Butler, Bam, and several other people on that squad. Okay? So LeBron James won a title with the Los Angeles Lakers. But he feels like those two titles were harder to get than the title that he got with Miami. And it's further from the truth. Anybody that knows anything about basketball and knew that time, LeBron James, as great as LeBron James was, and people was not really necessarily talking about LeBron James' IQ. And I'm not sitting up here saying LeBron James is a dumb player and he got smart when he went to Miami. That's not what I'm insinuating. But what I am insinuating is LeBron James, when he was younger, he depended heavily on his athleticism. And his athleticism got the Cleveland Cavaliers to the NBA Finals, and they lost to the San Antonio Spurs. And it took LeBron James to go to Miami to figure out you just can't just depend on one element of your game. It's a mental thing. It's you have to utilize your other talents. A lot of people underestimate that LeBron James is a great facilitator. He's more magic than Jordan when you're talking on that level. And that's another reason why I would never put him above Michael Jordan. No matter how many records he break, no matter the scoring title and things of that nature. When Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had the scoring title, no one was talking about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the greatest player of all time. So since LeBron got it, now all of a sudden we're going to say, well, he's got the scoring title. He took it from Kareem. He has to be the best player of all time. I just think that's LeBron James stands and LeBron James fans that want to gravitate to anything to prove without a shadow of a doubt that he's the best player. And that's further from the truth. So, but as far as Mind Your Game podcast, the jury's still out on it. I just think if they're going to continue down this path of, let's throw a bunch of softball questions at LeBron James, the stuff that, he's not going to tell us. No one's not going to give him the hard, tough questions. And we'll just throw a bunch of lobs and softballs, and that's going to get subscribers, and that's what's going to get ratings and viewership. I feel like LeBron James fans are going to support whatever LeBron James does. I think LeBron James is preparing for life after basketball. You can't play forever. I see LeBron maybe playing 1, possibly 2 years. He really want that achievement of playing alongside his son. And I like Bronny James. I like his game, but I don't think he's NBA ready. If Bronny didn't have James on the back of his jersey, he would be, someone that will have to earn his way into the NBA. He will be in the developmental league. Even the best LeBron James fan or stan is not going to sit up here and say, without a shadow of a doubt, oh yeah, Bronny James is automatically a lock-in for the NBA. It's further from the truth. To be honest with you, and it goes to show the LeBron and Michael have different mindsets. They just think different. They act differently. They approach the game differently. I think Michael is a guy who wins at all costs. He doesn't care what it's going to cost him later on down the road. He wanted to win titles. That's all Michael Jordan wanted to do. He wanted to win titles. I think all the other stuff was a caveat to Michael Jordan. Being the defensive player of the year so many times, being the offensive player so many years, being MVP of the regular season and MVP of the postseason. It was one year where clearly he was the MVP of the regular season, but they didn't want to give it to him because he won it so many times. Isn't that awful? You're still the best player in the NBA, but the NBA just didn't want to hand you the MVP of the regular season because, quote unquote, you don't won it too many times. That's how good you are. I don't, and I just think those things with Michael, he didn't care about those things. All he cared about was holding the NBA championship in the finals. I think at one point in time, LeBron cared about doing that because he was trying to pursue and trying to be Michael. But as the years went on, he found out that this is not working. I'm going to have to try another path. And he tried multiple paths. This ain't his first time at the rodeo trying something different to prove, without the shadow of a doubt, he's way better than Michael Jordan. He tried to beat him in the shoe game. 20, 30 years from now, nobody is even going to remember that LeBron had his own signature shoe. Okay? When Kobe was alive, nobody wasn't really interested in Kobe's. Now, God rest his soul, Kobe Bryant, R.I.P. to Kobe Bryant. But ever since he passed and left this world, those Kobe's are selling like hotcakes. And, a lot of people want those shoes, those signature shoes. And there's a lot of athletes that would play under the Kobe Bryant umbrella. It's all Nike at the end of the day. But Jordan is always going to be Jordan. 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 50 years from now, Jordans are going to be in a league of its own. And I don't think anybody's going to touch Michael's shoes. Now, he tried that way. Obviously he's not going to win as many titles as Michael. I think it's very, very hard to win 6 titles. I think it's very hard to win. I think it's difficult to win 3 titles. It's extremely hard to win 5. But to win 6, that's pretty deep. That's pretty deep. Okay. So that's all I got for today. Try to get this video up today. If I don't get it up today, I'm gonna try to get it up next week. But I think I'll get it up today. Maybe available for Saturday. All right. But guys, I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend, and we'll try to do this again next week. Deuces.